Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. We are back once again playing Stormworks. We're working on our diving ship, as you guys can see in the background. Got a nice little camera footage for you, I guess. Boat's looking pretty good. Did a little bit of paint work, added a mast. I'm sorry you guys probably didn't see that, but yeah, today we're working on our diving ship, and we are just gonna start with the building. We're going to get right into it. So in today's episode, I really want to figure out a good chunk of the interior layout of this ship. So we are going to be talking about that a little bit today. If you want to learn a little bit about layouts and interior floor plans and that kind of thing, I will be discussing that. So this will be a good episode for that. And man, it's early in the morning. My voice keeps cracking. So I apologize. I have just had my coffee and I just drank a glass of water and got out of bed maybe 30 minutes ago. Been really, really bad with the recording lately. So this is actually getting recorded at 7:30 a.m. and going out at 9 a.m. So I apologize, guys. I'm trying to get it together, but the work life has been absolutely crazy. But I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves yet. We're going to be building a lot of the interior for this, and I'm not going to discuss a lot of this right now because I'm just kind of tearing it apart, making it look cleaner. I really don't like I like to smooth out the inside of the hulls before I start building. I don't know, the edges bother me. So I don't think it's new to you guys that I have a lot of weird quirks to me anyway. So we're gonna do that. And the other thing that I need to do is I really need to figure out this floor, and I need to figure out the floor above it that goes into the bridge. Once we get those figured out, everything below the water line is generally pretty easy. Everything above the water line I find generally a little bit harder. Below the lines. Water line's easy because, well, the space you have is the space you have. You're not going to change it. The hull shape doesn't change for the interior. But above the superstructure, above the water line on the superstructure, you get a lot of freedom and a lot of different weird shapes. So really what I'm working on right now is the stairwells. And I think that that's probably the easiest place to start for a lot of people. I think if you really don't know how to, or if, I know the interiors can be really, really overwhelming if you want to do a good full interior. If it is overwhelming, I recommend that you start with the staircases, because the staircases are almost kind of like fixed anchors in your floor plan, and they're absolutely necessary. The more important part of the staircases too is fire safety. So think about how far away they are for evacuations. If you have to run halfway across the ship to find a stairwell to go down to a floor, which is directly underneath where you're standing, well, then you might want to add another staircase. The big thing with staircases are, don't ever put them in the center of the ship. If you are doing a not luxury ship, please do not do that. But the big thing with the staircase, though, is where it's placed. Is you're going to be taking the stairs a lot. So think about where you want the stairs to be. Don't just place them anywhere. Place them somewhere where it makes sense. Place them somewhere where the landing goes to a lot of different areas. So you're not, going down a stairwell. And then something that I see in Stormworks a lot that drives me nuts is people will make a stairwell and it drops the landing of the stairwell, goes straight into a hallway. And that's not how stairs work in real life, guys. Have you ever been into a stairwell where it's just a long hallway and then a set of stairs with no door, no room, no nothing? That's not how stairs work. Don't do that. So that's kind of my first initial tips towards you guys working on the interior floor plans, is try to avoid, if we're doing an industrial ship or a commercial ship, try to avoid symmetrical staircases. Also think about where they need to be as far as speed to getting to a staircase, no matter where you are on the ship, for safety reasons such as evacuations. And the other thing too is think about where you want them from a gameplay standpoint. What points of the ship are you going to likely be running around between a lot? So for me, I'd say it's pretty important for you to make an access route from the bridge down into the engine room that isn't absolutely convoluted, or from the bridge down to the deck. These are the kind of routes that you want, a lot more efficient than the route to find the bathroom or to go to bed or to find the mess hall. Those kind of things people can wait to do. They're not on job while they're doing it. So they don't need to be priority, I guess. So you really want safety to be a priority. You want to be the work equipment and the work function to be a priority on these ships. You also really want to maximize your space. And so that's why a lot more of the more important functions are going to go in the superstructure, and a lot more of the less important functions are going to go down into the hull. You want quick access to them, especially when you're working. So that's kind of a few of my tips and tricks, I guess, before I get too far down the rant. I guess we'll talk a little bit real quick while I'm building a staircase. I guess we'll talk a little bit about the channel and some updates and some stuff like that. Anyways, so I sound a little different. I've been very ill this week, so I apologize. And I know a lot of you are probably waiting for that challenge video. It'll come eventually, I think. I'm just, guys, the work life's been crazy lately, so I do really apologize for that. But yeah, been doing too much of that. And also I have another trip planned at the end of February, so I will be out of town again for a full week in February. And I'm trying to get videos prepared for that. And yes, I know it's February, so you guys can, kind of deduce what week of February that's going to be. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to prepare for that, and I won't be around, but I'm going to try to have a few videos done. In the meantime, I'm going to try to passively work on that challenge video. Like I said, I'm sorry, guys. Those videos, especially those challenge videos, they take so long. And, I don't mind. I need a good 8-9 hour day free. And I don't really have those anymore. So I'm trying to piece it together here or there. It'll take me a while, but we'll get it done. We definitely had a lot of fun footage. I'm not sure you guys will be totally dissatisfied. It was really funny. Me and the mods kind of just hung out, and I watched them drop your guys' bombs. It was not a very serious build challenge, guys. We'll probably, keep doing fun stuff like that in the future, so long as I can actually edit the damn video. But anyways, enough of that. As you can see, we kind of closed off a lot of the floor plan down on that first and second floor. And now we need to go into the lower half of the hull. And we're going to take a little bit of break from floor plans real quick to add a classic unnecessary feature from WAC. We're going to add an air bubbler to this. And if you guys don't know what that is, basically it is a pump that pumps air from above the ocean, obviously, the atmosphere, and it pumps it down onto the bottom of the ship through a bunch of tiny little holes in the hull to basically make the boat ride on an air cushion. This is pretty useful. There's a specific reason I'm doing it for this. I'm not going to get super into the details. It is an Arctic ship. If you know a lot about marine stuff, then you'll probably know. It's both a good and bad thing that I have a bubbler on this ship, but it's just something that I've never really done. It does not affect the ship in any way, shape, or form, but it's just something fun that I wanted to do. So this giant big metal vent thing is going to be the intake for that. I'm just trying to find a good place that we can kind of stick that out of the way. And basically we're just going to suck air in from that and pump it into the bottom of the hull. right, so you guys saw we got the bubbler system done, and I started working a little bit on the engine room. So I want to kind of work on the engine room a little bit just out of my own personal want. So we're going to do that in the latter half of this episode. Now, the really kind of cool thing about this engine room is just how stupid it is. Put that on the quote wall, but it's a horrible design and it's really overly complicated and I love it. So we're going to keep rocking with it. It's really big, but I do need to get these guardrails up for safety to go around this little catwalk. But I do want to start making this a little bit better, and I wanted to put basically deck access into the engine room. It's not necessarily that you're going to go into the engine room from the deck. It's more so that you're going to go from the engine room onto the deck in case there's something bad. So that's more of an emergency exit than anything. Obviously you can use it as a normal door, but it's obviously the stairwell there is more so there to be a emergency exit. Obviously, on a pretty nice, clear day, you could use it as a stairwell pretty easily. But if the weather's bad, probably not using that. But enough of that. We're working on the stairwell here, and I'm going to break my cardinal rule, and we're going to put a stairwell right here, or a staircase right here in the center. I don't like putting staircases on the center because generally they waste space, and they force each room to be the same size and therefore of equal purpose. And I don't like doing that. The reason we have to put it in the center here is because the drive shaft has to be able to basically cross over it. So if I move it too far to the left or the right, we're going to be in the way. So this is pretty much the only place it can go. There's a stairwell in the back of the engine room too. You guys might be able to peep it out of the corner of your eye, but yeah. So I'm putting this staircase here just so you can get up towards the transmission and the drive line and all that kind of stuff. So, kind of a really goofy engine layout or room layout, especially because the drive shafts are going up and then coming back down because we have azimuth pods. But because of that, we obviously are going to have a little bit of a harder time navigating around the room. It's not laid out necessarily the same. So getting around all of these, the pipes there that I just turned on, the pipes, that is what we're affectionately just going to call the transmission, even though it's not really a transmission. It's just part of the transfer case itself that goes into the azimuth thrusters. Now, they're not really going to have differential thrust, but I need to add a few things. Like I need to add this manual motor or an electric motor, just in case you want to switch to electric power for slightly more precise controls. So the rest of this is really just going to be blocking it out to make it look cooler. It's not actually going to have like a lot of gears and stuff in it. It's not going to be too complicated. I might add a few other weird little doodads here or there to it. But the other big thing we need to do is we need to seal these up. So I use door seals and turret rings, again, like I'm an idiot because I make everything hard on myself, but I love it. And they do look cool. You got to admit, they do look cool and semi-realistic. But the problem with that is now I do have to put like windows down there or something because they do, in fact, leak water. Man, I just checked the clock on this one. Got to speed it up a little. So I know I said we were going to do a little bit more interior work. I guess that's going to come next episode. But I do want to get this engine room kind of blocked up, and I do want to show you guys that. So get that symmetry mode off, dummy. And yeah, this transmission really not really based off of anything. I'm just going to make it look big and blocky and like it's doing something, I guess. But other than that, really, the rest of this is just boring details, a little bit of painting, that kind of thing. So I'm probably just going to cut a lot of it out and show you guys that at the end. What I will say is once we get this done, as far as the engine room goes, we mechanically are pretty much done. So there's not really going to be too much more to do in here other than logic, and I'll do a lot of the logic off camera. You guys don't really need to see a lot of that. I will make kind of like a dummy mode that will basically automatically run all of these systems for you. That's going to be fun and miserable for me. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this one. I know, like I said, I know we were going to work on the interior a little bit more, but we'll have to get back to that next episode. I actually really need to get working on this ship. This is pretty close to the state it's in right now. So running a little behind on that, I will say, for the submarine guys out there, I have been working a lot on the submarine. So making good progress on that. But yeah, life has just been crazy. Lots of weird things at work. Kind of getting sick a lot, that kind of stuff. So I apologize. We'll try to keep the videos rolling. If you guys made it to the end, thank you so much as always. The sport does not go unnoticed. It is pretty much the only reason I still make these videos is for you guys. So anyways, as promised, here is the video of the engine room, and you guys can see we're being oh so gentle on the equipment. I did add an overhead crane. I think you guys saw that. But yeah, we are basically going to lower this down onto the generator, and I want to make sure that the stairs are somewhat usable, even though I can tell you right now, if there was a drive shaft going over my head that size, I would not be taking those stairs. Anyways, it looks fine. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys in this one, like I said. So if you made it to the end, thank you as always, of course. And if you guys are new around here, don't forget to check the links in my description. We have a link down to our Discord. That's where we do our build challenges. Good place to kind of hang out, make some friends, that kind of thing. But yeah, anyways, that's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you for staying to the end. I'll catch you all in the next episode, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.